BTFD. Buy the dip, folks. UPB at OptionMillionaires.com. Been talking about this for a long time. Go to OptionMillionaires.com, type in BTFD, and you'll see exactly what I was talking about. How the market was going to ramp to new all-time highs, and this is quite a while ago, folks. This is when everybody was calling for everything to collapse because we had the European crisis and everything going on. It just seemed so bearish back then. That was the sentiment. And of course, here, sticking my neck out and saying, yeah, we're going to hit all-time highs, and it's going to happen pretty quick. And it's because the Federal Reserve is going to reinflate asset prices at all costs. And that's where we're at right now. We're going to hit a juncture where stocks are going to fall pretty heavily. But I don't think we're there yet. Futures are higher. This is the overnight session so far. The Japanese markets are higher. Asian markets are higher in general. Japanese continues to weaken their yen. Central banks printing money hand over fist. There is no other place to be right now than stocks. Even gold and silver, precious metals and commodities are falling. So people are piling into stocks. And I think until we see that parabolic move to the upside, we're going to continue higher. Down here, Barack Hussein Obama was saying it was a great time to buy stocks. Type in Obama at OptionMillionaires.com. You'll see an article I wrote about Obama being the great stock prognosticator. Sure enough, look at him. This guy's great. I mean, he's better than any hedge fund manager out there. Our own president, Barack Hussein Obama, calling for great time to buy stocks right here. And was he ever right? Love the guy. Barack Obama, thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go into some option trading ideas for Friday. Monthly options expire tomorrow, making it for a very volatile, usually biased to the call side, meaning stocks are probably going to go higher. Which means we get a little pullback. Oh man, it's on like Donkey Kong. I'm looking at a couple stocks that I'm going to buy options at in the morning for a possible. Gosh, Jimmy Bob's seen them before, 10, 15, 20 bagger. We had Google puts, not on the call side, so puts to the downside, go some from 5 cents to 13 bucks on an options expiration day about a year and a half ago. So do the math on that, folks. 5 cents to 13 bucks. Actually, I think it was in June of last year. Less than a year ago. I'm going to have to look back. So 5 cents to 13 bucks is 50 bucks into 13 grand. Oh, options, they rock. Even better. Guess what starts on Monday, March 18th? Mini options. Mini options. Mini me. Looked it up at OptionMillionaires.com as well. I did a little post on mini options. And, of course, tune in Sunday night, 10:30 p.m. live webinar. The week ahead from Option Millionaires. But here we go. Wynn Resorts. Stock actually was painted 120 after hours. I own the 120 calls. Extend this line. Come on. What's wrong with you? There we go. We're above this now. Formerly resistance. Now support. Stock closed at 120 after hours. Which really meaningless. I think it was like a 2-share trade. Point being, stock's going higher in my opinion. The 29-cent 120 calls right now at 42 cents. We get a nice 1% move higher. That brings us to about 122 for Wynn. Those would be $2 calls. Right now they're at 42 cents. That's a 5-bagger, just about. You get 10 contracts for $4.20. You'd be able to sell them for $2 grand. Not bad. And my 29-cent contracts could sell for a nice hefty profit as well. U.S. Steel pointed this out last night. Bummer. Again, below tremendous support here. Tried to get above it at about 2 o'clock, 2 hours before the close. Could not muster enough gas to get past it. So this is something we're going to have to watch from the sidelines from here on out. Of course, I'm not on the sidelines. I have calls, so I'm just going to have to keep my fingers crossed we get a miraculous rally in steel. Maybe the Chinese announce something just before the market closes over there that they're going to buy up all the steel in the world. That'll send us up about 5%. I'll be doing just fine on my calls. So that's U.S. Steel. Amazon, of course, talked about this last night. This worked out great, didn't it? J.P. Morgan Chase downgraded the stock. And you can look, I talked about HLF in another video I did tonight. Symmetrical triangles. Look at this. Beautiful symmetrical triangle here on, let me come a little closer. Come a little closer. I do karaoke every once in a while, so don't be shy. It's an old commercial. You're probably too young for that, if you don't know what it is. And if you do know what it is, get a little closer with, what is it called? Arid Extra Dry, I don't know, anyway. Look at this triangle, boom, to the downside. So, and what you'll see normally with a symmetrical triangle, you'll see decreasing volume. So we have the volume spike and decreasing volume. You almost saw it there, right? And boom, this is the, it always gets darkest before the dawn. Oh no! Of course I was positioned for the calls. I am not the perfect trader. No way, folks. No way am I the perfect trader. But did a good job with HLF today. HLF to the downside. Look at this chart. Posted this yesterday. I was in the puts. I talked about the stock to the downside at the start of this week. Actually, in the weekend, it's been down every single day. So I nailed this one. Nailed it. Oh yeah. Let me pat myself on the back. Anyway, I got out of the puts just in time for the last minute ramp. I got out a little over half my position here and the rest of it down here. You can go to stocktwits.com and it shows you exactly where I got out. I commented on it in the HLF thread. And so we hit 38.55 at the close. We're a little higher than that after hours. And I think the move's going to head us up to about 40.50 before we make a big, giant move in either direction. Either direction. Even though I'm a bear on this stock, I think HLF's certainly not a company you want to work for. I think most of their revenue is based just on their distributors, and I think it is a pyramid scheme. But who am I to say? All I'm going to look at is the chart. They're going to hit right in the middle here, 41, and we're just going to take a poop, or we're going to wing. It's going to be a big move, either direction. So a strangle or straddle might do you well there. Couple more trades. The commodity sector has just been destroyed recently, doing very poorly. CF Industries again, possibly getting to $205 calls. And we're going to start looking for the puts. JP Morgan Chase, going to be a lot of volatile swings tomorrow. We had the stress test comes out. Look, the stock's at an all-time high, 51 bucks, closes exactly at $51, and then after hours was below 50. So something to watch here, as well as Goldman's Spectacular. Traded these options, talked about them in the chat room at optionmillionaires.com. I got in the 155 calls, and I know a couple people actually got out. I talked about my position. I'm sold. I'm gone. And then finally, we're going to talk about Apple. Did a chart, posted it at stocktwits.com, but I believe this stock is going over 450. Someone just replied to my post saying, "Oh, it's not going to be a surprise if it goes over 450." Well, it will be for the bears, right? I mean, somebody's going to be surprised. Hey, if it's just one person, it will be a surprise for that one person, won't it? So, so that one person who's betting for downside for Apple, surprise, because it's going to go higher. To me, it seems like we've bottomed here. The 420 price is something that we probably won't see the rest of this year unless Apple goes to $840 and then decides to do a 2-for-1 forward split. I think the stock's going to break out of this downward channel. Okay, we hit 700 bucks. Every analyst and his brother was long. Oh, buy it! Oh, buy it! And then all of a sudden we drop almost 300 bucks, and they're like, oh, sell it. Okay, where were you here? Where were you at this massive decline? And then we finally had an analyst stick his neck out here today after all these downgrades. Say, hey, buy the stock. Buy the stock. And so I think this is going to be the turning point. Not just the analyst upgrade, etc. We're bottomed here. Once we break out of this channel, this is kind of like a car stuck in mud. They got the the drying solution down there to kind of tighten everything up, and just going to vault out of this downward trend to the upside, and whoever's in the calls that day or that week is just going to make a lot of money. All right, UPB here from optionmillionaires.com. So I like the Apple calls. I really like Wynn. If you don't like Wynn so much, try Las Vegas Sands. LVS actually was upgraded recently, and Wynn their numbers were downgraded recently. So if you're going to take the side of a casino stock for tomorrow, LVS might be your play, but I'm in Wynn. I'm going to go for the win, baby. UPB here from optionmillionaires.com. Again, tune in Sunday night, 10:30 p.m. live webinar. Goodbye.